I'm Shannon Martin. Tonight, thousands marched the streets of Toronto in solidarity with Ukraine.
Putin, get off Ukraine, please, and don't kill our kids, our people, please.
The support here as the fighting and fleeing continues in Ukraine, and
this is not over for people like myself. It's just as deadly. It's just as deadly as it was in the first waves.
As we get closer to the end of many COVID restrictions, why some aren't able to move on so easily. Plus,
a lot has happened to us. It happens very fast. Our bodies are altered. You go through hell through your treatments.
How one project is helping breast cancer survivors.
This is CBC Late Night News.
My mom is there. One of my nephews is still there, but still they could hear their sirens every day. They have to hide. Ukrainian government and our army, they're doing everything possible. They keep asking us for immediate help.
The message tonight, loud and clear: Canada supports Ukraine and its people. We'll take you there in just a moment. But first, to those scenes of support across Ontario and coast to coast. Lorenda Redekop was in a massive crowd in Toronto this afternoon. She has our top story.
In Toronto, they called this the Mega March, and it was far bigger than previous rallies. It ended in front of City Hall. Many are worried about their loved ones.
Get off Ukraine, Putin, get off Ukraine, please, and don't kill our kids, our people, please.
With Ukraine, Canada, with Ukraine.
One university student says a bomb hit an apartment building in Kyiv, a block from his parents' place.
They were not able to leave the city, and now they can't because it's too dangerous.
This couple has sponsored children in Ukraine for years.
She's terrified. If you had seen the look on her face when we had our video call, she's choking back tears and she's absolutely terrified.
Many of the signs here send a direct message to Russian President Vladimir Putin. This Russian couple says they felt they had to attend.
I'm crying, I think, every day because I hate my government. This is crime, world crime, global crime, and I feel guilty.
I don't know how I'm feeling myself. I'm literally lost. Ever since the first day I learned that this happened.
He worries about his parents and the effect the sanctions could have on them. Thousands of people demonstrated in Montreal, among them the leader of the Bloc Québécois. In Saskatoon, they unrolled a giant Ukrainian flag. In Edmonton, a couple thousand people formed a human chain that stretched for blocks. At an earlier event in Edmonton, in front of the legislature, this Russian-Canadian woman burned her Russian passport. Her grandmother is Ukrainian.
I was not able to go and speak out on the streets in Moscow when I was living, because I was scared to death.
United by their outrage and grief, they made it clear they stand with Ukraine. Lorenda Redekop, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, now let's go to the latest on the ground in Ukraine. The president says talks with Russian officials will happen tomorrow, but the fighting goes on, and Putin has issued an order putting Russian nuclear forces on high alert. Here's more from Margaret Evans. She's in the Ukraine.
Moscow's reach making itself felt in the eastern border town of Kharkiv. Russian troops spotted on the ground in the city of 1.4 million people after days of softening it up with a barrage of artillery fire. An attack on an oil depot just outside Kyiv. Fear finds its feet quickly in the face of brutal force, and the city is now under a 39-hour curfew, according to its mayor, surrounded. Shelling sending people underground as the city braces for an assault.
Definitely feels much safer than staying home alone, like in your apartment.
Taras Baran, his partner Kate Savina, and their dog Tufi have spent the past few nights in this hotel car park, shocked at the turn of events.
We were like, no one will do that. do that in Kiev.
Also taking up residence in the temporary bomb shelter, the International Committee of the Red Cross, describing the situation as dire.
People are underground, no food, no water, no electricity. If they want connectivity, they have to risk their lives to be in a place just to say, I'm safe, to their families.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is clearly skeptical about the outcome of Monday's talks with Russia. But let them try, he said in a video message, so that later not a single citizen of Ukraine has any doubt that I, as president, tried to stop the war. Many Ukrainians worry the Russians might try to impose conditions like neutrality.
Going to be just a gray zone between the Russia and the rest of the world, so I guess it's not acceptable for anybody here.
For now, though, the focus is just on getting through the night.
That was Margaret Evans reporting. Well, Canada joining in with European countries today, closing its airspace to Russian flights and announcing more military muscle for Ukraine.
Canada and its allies are working together to equip Ukraine with the tools they need to continue the fight.
That equipment will include helmets, body armor, and gas masks. The EU announcing it will send arms directly to Ukraine. Germany did the same, reversing its long-standing policy of not sending weapons into combat zones. Also tomorrow, the UN will hold an emergency session of the General Assembly. We'll have much more on this story coming up a little later on in the show. But let's turn to some other news now. More COVID restrictions in Ontario lift in less than 48 hours. Some are celebrating. For others, it is much more complicated. Dale Manukduk explains why.
If we never meet again.
Jazz singer Alex Pangman has always found music to be an antidote of sorts, but it won't protect her from COVID-19, and neither will the vaccine, of which she's had 3 doses.
This green ribbon here, that's because I have had 2 double lung transplants, which makes me a double-double.
Transplant recipients like Pangman might not produce an antibody response because of the medication they're on.
And that medication is designed to prevent your immune system from attacking and rejecting the new organ. But unfortunately, that medication is also going to prevent your immune system from making antibodies against COVID.
So what are you gonna do?
With Ontario lifting more restrictions come Tuesday, Pangman and other immunocompromised people feel left behind.
That collective sentiment of society looking after each other kind of almost feels like it's been thrown away because, no, it's all over, it's good, let's go back to normal.
For double lung transplant recipient Derek Clark, normal is not a possibility.
Am I going to go to a Raptor game with 20,000 people? Not a chance. Can I go for dinner? Yes, I can.
Clark has had 4 doses of vaccine without an antibody response and caught COVID in January. Immunocompromised people who are infected should contact the physician immediately.
My symptoms were mild, and I knew what treatment was available. I worked with the transplant team, and I got an IV of monoclonal antibodies.
Both Clark and Pangman are hopeful about an antibody therapy called Evusheld, a pre-exposure preventative for COVID-19. Canada just inked a deal for 100,000 doses and is waiting on Health Canada to approve its use.
We're going to have a limited number of doses, so we're not going to be able to initially give it to everybody that needs it.
Until then, Pangman hopes that the community and public health response continues to protect people who are high risk.
I've heard people speaking ill of masks. Don't take all those away at once. This is not over. For people like myself, it's just as deadly. It's just as deadly as it was in the first wave.
Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, here's a live look at Ottawa tonight. -11 there right now, feeling like -21. Sophia's here with our first look at the forecast. And yeah, definitely feeling fresh out there today. Bitter
Cold, frigid, pick an adjective. It didn't start off that way, though, for much of Sunday. It actually started off with a little bit of sunshine and some snow. It was a quick dusting across the GTA that meant for some white knuckle and whiteout drives. And then into the afternoon hour, these bands of snow really locked in around the Golden Horseshoe and up to Cottage Country as well. The winds have changed, though, really picked up and will bring out all the clouds for Monday and actually bring us some brilliant, bright sunshine. But it's those nice sunny skies that will actually make it a downright frigid start to the work week. I'd like to tell you about radiational cooling. Think of the lid off a pot on the stove and all the heat escapes. Add to that the extra triple whammy with a snow bank and a northwesterly wind. It's going to make for what feels like the mid-20s as you're getting the kids ready for school and beginning to start your work week. We warm to only what feels like a balmy minus 10, 11, 12 degrees into your afternoon. It's a departure about 5 to 10 degrees away from normal. Now, coming up in your long range, I'll tell you about how there'll be more snow after the cold lets up this work week. Shannon?
A new project is underway in Toronto aimed at supporting breast cancer survivors. The idea is to reimagine post-surgery bras. Right now, they're often uncomfortable, unaffordable, and some survivors say that adds insult to injury. Take a look. In Barbados, Joanne Harris is busy working away in her home studio, sketching and sewing, all for a project close to her heart, bras designed specifically for breast cancer survivors.
I recently lost my father in December of 2020, and he suffered with cancer. So I thought a lot about how much pain that he went through, and I really wanted to at least try to help others.
The fashion design student recently submitted these ideas, winning a competition organized by Ryerson University and St. Michael's Hospital. She'll be working closely with the Chief of General Surgery, Dr. Jory Simpson.
We want to develop a bra specifically in collaboration with patients to better understand their needs in the immediate post-operative period to reduce discomfort, to reduce swelling.
Our cameras were there 5 years ago when he started a first-of-its-kind program, bringing medical students and breast cancer survivors together, including Jennifer Schultz.
You're going to be telling them you're going to cut them open, you're going to cut something out.
At 45, she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, her right breast removed.
We all have a small dose of PTSD. A lot has happened to us. It happens very fast. Our bodies are altered.
She's now lending her voice to the bra redesign project.
You go through hell through your treatments. I did it reverse. I went chemo to radiation to surgery. So I lost my hair, but I could wear my clothing. And then 3 months after my surgery, my hair is coming back and it's curly and I don't look like me and I can't wear my clothing and I could not afford the prosthesis and bras. And I was in tears. So fundamentally, this project, which is a redesign with patients in mind, has to keep in mind that the socioeconomic status of breast cancer patients is wide.
She says the key will be making them affordable. Over the next year, breast cancer patients like her will have a chance to weigh in on the design. The hope is to get the new bra to market soon after. For more on this story, you can head to our website. Welcome back. Returning to our top story now, we go next to Ukraine's borders, where so many people are arriving, telling stories of exhausting and terrifying journeys. Most are women and children separated from husbands, brothers, and fathers who must stay behind and fight. The CBC's Susan Ormiston is at the Polish-Ukraine border.
Out of Ukraine into a safe embrace in Poland, a boy's sweet relief. The borderlands now a refuge from war. About 400,000 Ukrainians have fled in just 4 days. The exodus is accelerating. Family reunions, separations, and haunting memories. Katerina and Darina left after a bomb hit an airport near their home. We don't know when we'll go back. A lot of people were killed in the east and south. It's very scary. At the train station nearby, hundreds of newly arrived. Hot soup warms the body but can't soothe the soul. Here and in cities across Poland, a heaping of help from strangers.
Voluntary services are mobilizing here at the train station. The trains from Lviv are absolutely jammed, escalating numbers of Ukrainians coming here to Poland. They're being offered water, food, toys, and transport to other places in Poland.
Derek Shanik is offering rides to Krakow.
I need to help, yes, because I don't want to sit on the couch and read the news.
The war has touched everyone.
I'm very angry.
Thousands of children are on the move. Families split, men of fighting age forbidden from leaving Ukraine, like Natalia's husband.
Is it hard for him to say goodbye to the kids?
Yeah, we cried all yesterday, the whole day. Yeah, and even now I'm thinking about him and worried. Yeah, that's very hard.
How are you feeling about your country?
It's a pity because, every time such feeling that we are not allowed to leave. We built the country for so many years, and because of somebody's desire, it will be just ruined. That's not normal, and it hurts a lot, really, because it's my country, right? It's my land.
With every night, worse than the last, more head for the borders if they can, their sense of security shattered.
Susan Ormison, CBC News on the Polish-Ukrainian border.
Meantime, there are big efforts underway here in Ontario to get food, supplies, and money to Ukrainians. Delia Ashry has that part of the story.
This is footage by humanitarian organization Global Medic.
Poor people are coming crying, kids are crying, it's just awful.
Capturing a gut-wrenching scene of Ukrainian families fleeing to Romania. The organization is based out of Toronto with teams on the ground. Convoys filled with humanitarian aid kits are beginning to arrive in neighboring countries, including Slovakia and Moldova.
One partner already get a humanitarian convoy in today across the Romanian border and in small trucks like the one behind me.
He says many of the volunteers are Ukrainians that are helping firsthand.
We hired these women that were displaced by the fighting, and we gave them jobs, right? They had income. It was fantastic for them. And they would produce this borscht kit. People love borscht. It's tasty. It's culturally appropriate. Everybody likes it. And then we would distribute the kits out to people that were displaced by the fighting.
Murray Buntriani is the chair of Help Us Help, a foundation based out of Toronto. It usually runs summer and winter camps in Ukraine, mainly helping orphans and children with disabilities ranging between the ages of 8 years old to 17. Aid is also provided to war vets and their families.
We get daily, actually more than daily, almost hourly reports. And so far, the orphanages that we have worked in have not been bombed.
Right now, she says they're providing the required aid, but unsure what the future holds.
Right now, we were asked for resources, food, medical aid. Tomorrow, we may be asked for something else. So stay tuned is what I can say, because this is an unpredictable war and a very tragic situation for the children of Ukraine.
On Friday, the federal government announced that it will match Canadians' donations to Red Cross to aid Ukraine, up to a maximum of $10 million. And for those looking to help, organizations like Global Medic and Help Us Help, they're accepting monetary donations through their websites. Dalia Ashry, CBC News, Toronto.
Starting a new business can be incredibly challenging and scary. Now there's a new program for Black women, The Hope, to help them achieve their business dreams and find success. Have a look.
Think Real Grow is an incredible opportunity for Black women to sort of learn the basis of how to start their business. And so for me, this is what's going to help these women create profits for their business, grow their business, take care of their families.
I was just able to organize my business in a way that it was set up for success and set up for me to actually be able to own my physical location.
It helped me tremendously with my mental health. It helped me with narrowing down what I really need to do within my business and targeting those things with a deadline.
I was able to brand my products better and just marketing overall. This is where the rebrand idea came from. New colors, new look, new logo, new everything.
Starting a new business is very pricey, so being a part of Black Girls Inc. it really helped our business, and getting to know other women that are in the same situation and we can feed off of each other and help each other, it was a wonderful experience.
I have never been surrounded by a group of women where I felt more seen, more supported, more encouraged.
The Blink Box to me is the culmination of all of that, because now we're looking at generational wealth. And so this to us is really the culmination of all of the hard work. Just getting from an idea to a product, getting a label on your product, getting the shipment to your home to be able to put it together, that is like months of work for these ladies.
Through Black Girls Inc., I have now created this amazing network of sisters who have supported me in my dream when others have doubted, and that is absolutely priceless.
Let's give you another quick look at the cold that will greet you for the start of your work week. Your overnight temperatures will be warmer than what you wake up to for the Monday morning start of the work week, where, as a reminder, again, it will feel like the mid-20s across the board. Let's extrapolate a little bit. Look at the rest of your work week. How does a warm-up sound, though, for Tuesday and Wednesday after Monday, which is by far the coldest day of the work week? That warm up right across the board in Ontario. Tuesday into Wednesday will come with, yes, you guessed it, more snow. We're not talking a ton of snowfall totals, just like the last little system, but it could pick up the winds again in behind it and change the temperatures. Are you noticing a theme here? It will be a widespread dusting. And then let's see what happens in behind that Tuesday to Wednesday system. Pay particular attention to the broad, cold purple air mass as it brushes us, brushing us with what will feel again like the mid-20s, with plenty of sunshine for Thursday into Friday. Again into Saturday. The first day of March, though, will be Tuesday. Who's ready for the next season? If you're interested in more, at the Weather Network all day on Tuesday, March the 1st, our all-day spring forecast to see how long this cold will last and when we can finally see more of that warm spring weather and, of course, potholes and muddy puddles and all the fun that comes with spring. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Sophia. That is our show for tonight. Thank you so much for being here with us. Dwight has your next local news tomorrow at 6 as we go. Might not really feel like beach weather out there, but grab a coffee, head down to Woodbine Beach, and check out the new winter stations. This happens every year, design competition to transform lifeguard stations.